Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivratagacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Shri Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Purushottama Kshetra Jagannathpur Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Kaliyuga Pavan Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Bolo Shri Shri Radha Gokunanda Bhagavan Ki Jai Shri Panchatattva Ki Jai Nithai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glory to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
원래 쓰는 들고. 안 먹을 거야. 저거 잘 쳐. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
La 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 ire.
La 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 ire.
Hiranyakashi Purakshaha.
Hiranyakasi Purakshaha.
Shrilataka भगवान की श्री बेलाल महाराज की क्या गौर प्रेम लाएंगे
Those who are sitting from here can move forward. Take some room. Yeah. The front. Yeah.
Right. Someone is sitting there? No. You can take care of this. You can take care of HDMI connection. Take care of me too. Right. Take care of the camera. Just move.
Jai Radha Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari.
You can move this.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Jai Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava,
Jaya Radha Madhava,
Jai Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava,
Jaya Radha Madhava,
Jai Radha Madhava, Radha Shri Radha Madhav ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadahiyam Dadati Swadatikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Radhakalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamam Rupam Sadhyatam Saganaganatham Panchami Sadhvaitam Savadutam Parijanasatam Krishna Chaitanya Shri Radha Krishna Sahaita Shri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Hare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna. So, wish you a very, very warm welcome today. It's a Sunday and it's also Ekadashi, very, very auspicious for the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. Ekadashi has a special significance. It comes twice a month on the 11th day of the waxing and the waning moon cycle. Ekadashi comes. It has a special significance for the devotees. We come together and do fasting, abstain from our daily routine activities to take time out, especially the Lord, meeting with His devotees and chanting His holy names. So very fortunate that we are having to spend this Ekadashi, Putrada Ekadashi with you, the Sunday Feast program. So warm welcome once again to all of you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So today we'll be studying from or reading from and discussing from chapter 17 of the Bhagavad Gita. It's titled Divisions of Faith. But before that, it's important to understand what faith really is and where is it that each one of us is placed in that order. Hare Krishna. Please take a seat. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and by his own example, he exemplified how to become a devotee and access the love of God. And there are many, many commentaries on the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One such is Madhurya Kadambini. Madhurya means sweet, and Kadambini means a ray of clouds. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is compared to like a waterfall of benevolence, waterfall of mercy. But it's not possible to directly access that force. It is like not possible to stand under a waterfall and have a shower. So Acharyas, like the Goswamis of Vrindavan, Hare Krishna. So Acharyas like Goswamis of Vrindavan, what they do, they gather this waterfall of the Lord's mercy and make it into an ocean. They make it into an ocean. And the foremost Goswami, Rupa Goswami, he's compared to like a boatman. of devotion, and he is inviting all the devotees who are sincere and wanting to access the love of God to swim into the waters, to enter the waters. So it's not possible to access the Lord's mercy directly. What is the take home? We have to take shelter of the devotees of the Lord. We have to follow the instructions and the commentaries of the Acharyas, like Rupa Goswami, Srila Prabhupada, are like the waves in this ocean. They rise with a volume down back. And what do we do as devotees? Some of us, we all have different levels of appreciation. Some of us, as practicing devotees, would appreciate this ocean of devotion from a distance. We're called people of faith, who have some appreciation but not enough to be able to diving into the waters ourselves. And then there are some who have perhaps a place of worship in their homes. They have a certain practice, a daily practice, and they do some pious religious activities. Those devotees are compared to people who are ready to dip into the waters on the shore, come to the ocean and get into the shore and have some access by getting into the waters of the ocean. And then there are yet some devotees who are further advanced and whatever they're doing of devotion, constantly meditating on the form of the Lord and follow perfectly. What is Mom? So, such is the ocean of devotion, which is made accessible by great devotees like Rupa Goswami. And the invitation has been extended to all of us. So we need to recognize what is our level of faith, and accordingly we can access this ocean of devotion that is made accessible by devotees like Rupa Goswami. Is that okay? So we will get into okay. So this is a picture of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu giving instruction to one of the Goswamis, Rupa Goswami. And in his Nectar of Devotion, which is translated as the ocean of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he is given clear instruction on what is the path that we can follow to access the love of God, which is the essence and the goal of this human life. To develop some appreciation for who our Supreme Father Krishna is. And what is that process? That has been explained here. Is the verse up? So we can read this together after me. Adho Shraddha Tata Sadhu
Adho Shraddha Tata Sadhu
Sangotha Bhajana Kriya
Sambhota Bhajana Kriya
Tato Nartha Nivrittisha
Tato Nartha Nivrittisha
Tato Nishtha Ruchis Tatha
Tato Nishtha Ruchis Tatha
Atha Shaktis Tato Bhava
Atha Shaktis Tato Bhava
Prema Vihundanchati
Tata Prema Vihundanchati
Sadhakana Mayam Premana
Sadhakana Mayam Premana
Pradurbhave Bhavet Kramaha
Pradurbhave Bhavet Kramaha.
So the translation is Adho Shraddha. That's the first stage. First stage for becoming a devotee or progressing on the path of devotional life, spiritual life, is to have some faith. When you have some faith, like all of you have got, you will take the first step of doing sadhu sangha, associating with like. That's what you're doing here today. Associating because And then what will you do when you associate with like-minded people? Sankirtan, which is referred to here as Bhajana Kriya. Okay? So you wouldn't come in contact with like-minded people and talk mundane activities. No. When you come in contact, in association with saintly people, you will naturally perform Bhajana Kriya. And what is the outcome of conducting Bhajana Kriya? Anartha Nivritti. Anartha Nivritti means? Anartha or sinful reactions are destroyed gradually. It doesn't happen overnight, it's a process. But by gradually maintaining that faith, associating with like-minded saintly people, performing bhajan kriya, you will achieve a state of anartha nivritti, or getting rid of sinful reactions. And then by doing that, by following that process over a period of time, you will develop nishtha. Nishtha means determination, assurance, belief that this process is working, it's right for me, it's recommended by the acharyas. And then, because you have fixed determination and belief, there will be ruchi. Ruchi means taste, strong taste. You will develop what is called, we normally refer to as the higher taste. You'll have a higher taste. You'll have a taste for spiritual life. And then, by constantly working on this process, eventually at some point, you will have bhava. Bhava means some emotion, some affection, some realization for the Lord and how great He is, and how the devotees of the Lord have a great role to play in your own spiritual development. And then, if you continue with the process, you will then be able to achieve prema. Prema means love for God. That is the goal of life. What does nivritti means? Nivritti means to get rid of. Anartha means sinful reactions. Yes. So anartha nivritti means getting rid of sinful reactions. Naturally, if you are associating with devotees, you will be encouraged to perform only good activities, isn't it? And over a period of time, your bank balance of bad activities will reduce, because you still have the same 24 hours, isn't it? The same 24 hours, if you're spending more and more in cooking for the Lord and singing His glorification and listening to His pastimes and offering deity worship, then the possibility of conducting sinful reactions will reduce. And gradually, the results or the reactions of the sinful reaction will also be nullified. Is that okay, Manali? And just for those who would find it difficult to remember the Sanskrit, the translation is on the screen now. So maybe one of you can volunteer read. Bro? Okay? Okay, you've got the mic. Sure. The English. Shraddha means?
Shraddha, faith. Sadhu Sangha, association with the devotees.
Yeah.
Bhajana Kriya, performance of devotion service. Anartha Nivritti, decreasing of unwanted attachments. Nishtha, steadiness. Ruchi, taste. Asakti, attachment. Bhava, love. Prema, pure love for Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. And all that is described in this book, Nectar of Devotion. On the screen? Yeah. Translated in Hindi, it's called the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Good news is, we have in stock. Yes.
Raise your hand.
See, this is the beauty of the devotees of the Rupa. Something most amazing. Be gone. What will we do without you? And he said, don't worry. I will live forever in my books. So Nectar of Devotion or Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu forms part of those 4 books which are recommended for anybody serious about their devotional life. As part of ISKCON, we do what is called a Bhakti Shastri course, which I know some of you are either passed or are enrolled, and this book is one of the main books in that course. Okay. So we'll get into the reading of the Bhagavad Gita. Sanskrit 17.1. Okay. Before we get into the verse, we'll say a little prayer and then we'll jump in. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So far we've understood that there are different levels of faith. We've also understood that the mercy of the Lord is available by means of senior devotees like Rupa Goswami in books like Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And we've also understood that faith is the first ladder. It's the first stage to get onto eventually having some love and affection for the Lord. So let's get into the 17th chapter. There is a conversation happening between Krishna and Arjuna is asking this question. And for those of you who read the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains in the 16th chapter what? The divine and the demoniac. That's the topic of the previous chapter. So Krishna very carefully explains and clearly explains that you are either a Sura or a Asura, which means you're either divine or demoniac. So Krishna is being presented with a question. We will read now. Arjuna Vacha.
Arjuna Vacha.
Ye Shastra Vidhim Utsrajya.
Ye Shastra Vidhim Utsrajya.
Yajante Shadayan Vita.
Yajante Shadayan Vita.
Tesham Nishtha Tuka Krishna.
Tesham Nishtha Tuka Krishna.
Satvam Aho Rajastamaha.
Satvam Aho Rajastamaha.
Anybody in the audience?
Ye Shastra Vidhim Utrajya.
Ye Shastra Vidhim Utsrajya.
Yajante Shraddhayan Kanvitaha.
Yajante Shraddhayan Vita.
Tesham Nishtha Tuka Krishna.
Tesham Nishtha Tuka Krishna.
Sattvam Aho Rajastamaha.
Satvam Aho Rajastamaha.
Other maybe? Some? We've got 3 verses, so we wouldn't do over and over again.
Ye Shastra Vidhim Utsrajya.
Yajante Shraddhayanvitaha.
Yajante
Tesham Nishtha Tuka Krishna.
Tesham Nishtha Tuka Krishna.
Sattvam Aho Rajastamaha.
Satvam Aho Rajastamaha.
Translation. Yes, anybody? Translation.
Arjuna inquired, O Krishna, what is the situation of those who do not follow the principles of scriptures but worship according to their own imagination? Are they in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance?
Thank you, Guru. Srila Prabhupada. So, Arjuna, is having a conversation with Krishna and
Come here.
And Arjuna is representing all of us. Because he is Krishna's associate, he naturally knows all the information, but he's using this opportunity as an excuse to clarify all these doubts on our behalf. And that is the right position. If you want to, Madhava should get a seat. Maybe she might not be able to sit in the front.
Maybe one of the Matajis can help.
younger ones to have.
Just careful, Tulasi is thinking. So, Arjuna is asking this question on our behalf, and that's the right position. If we want to make some inquiry, emotion. If we want to make an inquiry, we have to submissively approach a suitable master. In the second chapter, what is the verse which the Bhakti Shastri course starts with? 2.7. Karkarnya dosho bhata svabhava prichami tamarma samyukacheta. So Krishna submits himself in front of Arjuna and says, "Oh Krishna, please you tell me, clear my doubt." And what is Arjuna's qualification? Why is Arjuna qualified to receive this information?
He's a friend and devotee.
He is Krishna's friend and he is a devotee. And he is approaching Krishna in a submissive manner. That's very, very essential. Whether you come to the temple or you approach any institution, if you are a seeker, if you are desiring to obtain some information, you have to have a submissive mode. And then make the right kind of inquiry. So Arjuna, by his example, even though he was a Maharathi, he was a Yodha, and he was qualified in so many skills, but still he submitted himself in front of Krishna and asked a question. So the question is, in the 16th chapter, Krishna is saying you're either a Sura or a Asura, which means you're either godly or you're demoniac. What is the analogy? How do we understand this clear demarcation? And some of us, we discuss on a regular basis, so we are very clear about this. That suppose you're driving a vehicle on the road, and if you decide to drive in different lanes, what will happen? If you don't follow the rules of the road, what happens? Number one, you will be causing disturbance to other living beings or other drivers. Then you will cause trouble to yourself as well, because if you cause damage to others, then you will also incur some damage. And then the third,
the government comes into action, they find you.
You will get some more punishment because you are not driving properly. Okay, and then there will be consequences. You will probably be taken off the road or some additional fines.
You will leave your body.
that's definitely also an outcome if you're too adventurous or if your time has come. So what Prabhuji is saying, that it is in your interest to follow the rules and regulations that are being put in place. It's like as living beings, we always want to be free and not stay in any kind of foundation. That's the problem with all of us. The main reason why we chose to come to material world, we chose to come. Remember, it's not that we were sent. We chose to come to the material world is because we wanted to enjoy separately from the Lord. We wanted to be free from submission and service to the Supreme Lord. So it is in our interest, and there are several analogies. For example, some of you know how to fly a kite. So the kite is flying, and if the kite is thinking as living beings that I'm being held by this thread, and this thread is not allowing me to go higher in the sky, what happens if the thread is snapped? The kite will fly for some time and then fall down. So you answer for yourself, was it in the kite's interest to be held by the rope? Yes or no?
Yes.
And is it in the driver's interest to follow the rules and regulations while driving on the road?
Yes.
To our benefit, isn't it? Similarly, when we are living this life as living beings, it is our responsibility to follow the Lord's law the nature's law, Krishna's instruction, and all those instructions are given in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, what is Bhagavad Gita? It is a manual. So Arjuna is saying, yes, you said there is a divine and a demoniac, but what about the in-betweeners? What about people who have some kind of faith?
The word written, own imagination.
Yeah. What happens to people who have some faith? They don't want to follow everything, because like a lot of us, we think, I know, I've got this. I know what is to be done. And unfortunately for a lot of us from Indian backgrounds, we have a huge wealth of preconceived notions and ideas, and we feel that, have you seen any book distributor approaching an Indian on the road with the Bhagavad Gita? And what is the first response you get? I'm from India. I know everything.
I already have.
I already have. 5 copies I have. What are you doing? I'm going to the pub next door.
And you don't bring Gita outside, it has to be inside.
Yes, yeah. So such is the state.
And one more, bigger than this Bhagavad Gita.
Yes. You have bigger Bhagavad Gita also.
It has huge information.
Oh, better still, I have on the phone. I can zoom out. Yeah, so Arjuna is asking, what about people who are in between? They have some faith. They come to the temple on Janmashtami, but not on a regular basis. They are following the rules, but only according to their own preconceived ideas. So this is another important point we should try. When we take up to a certain process, you have to follow it to the T. Otherwise, what happens? The results are not controlled. There is a little anecdote in this regard. Some of you may have heard, because we discuss this regularly. Once in Radha Gopinath Mandir, there is a pujari. He's recently taken up the service. So one Shraddhalu comes and approaches the pujari and says, Pujari, this is a true story actually, from Radha Gopinath Mandir. I have just joined the Bhagavad Gita class, and I've recently had some instruction, and I have come to understand that anything I buy, I have to offer to the Lord. Okay? So Pujari says, okay, what is it you've got in the bag? So he accepts the bag and he opens the bag and sees a pair of boxing gloves. So the Pujari is like, what is this? Is this an object to be offered to the Lord? So this devotee is very high on energy, and he's like, I have just learned this lesson. Everything I buy has to be offered, and you're a Pujari. Don't argue with me. Please just go ahead and do as I'm saying. Okay? So the Pujari is a newly appointed Pujari, and now a very senior devotee of the movement. And so he makes the offering to Radha Gopinath. Radha Gopinath gets the offering of the boxing gloves. And then after the offering is done, the boxing gloves are returned. So Pujari is curious. So what are you going to do now with this? Okay. So I'm going to box people around, and whoever gets the box gets prasad from Radha Gopinath. So this is a example of uncooked, half-cooked information. The guy understood that we have to make offerings to the Lord, and that's the right etiquette. We take permission, but he doesn't realize that it's not correct to trouble other living beings like that.
He didn't read the chapter 9. He didn't read the chapter 9.
Chapter 9, yes, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. Yes, so that is the question Arjuna is asking. What happens to those people who are in-betweeners? They get a bit of it but don't fully get it, and then they start practicing whimsically. What happens to those kind of people? That's the question. So Krishna answers. 17.2. Is the verse up?
Yes.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Trividha bhavati shraddha.
Trividha bhavati shraddha.
Dehinam sa svabhavaja.
Dehinam sa svabhavaja.
Satviki rajasi chaiva.
Satviki rajasi chaiva.
Tamasi cheti tam shrinu.
Tamasi cheti tam shrinu.
Audience, everybody?
Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
तीव्रिता भवति श्रद्धा
तीव्रा भवति श्रद्धा
देहिनां सा स्वभावजा
देहिनां सा स्वभावजा
सात्विकी राजसी चैव
सात्विकी राजसी चैव
तामसी चेति तां शृणु
तामसी चेति तां शृणु
Okay, translation. Yes. Page.
Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, according to the modes of nature acquired by the embodied soul, one's fate can be of three kinds: in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance. Now hear about this.
Yes. So the Lord replied, according to the modes of nature acquired by the embodied soul, one's faith can be of three kinds: goodness, passion, or ignorance. So this is a primary division of faith for anybody, not just the in-betweeners, but even as practicing devotees, we sometimes struggle to always stay in the mode of goodness. Depending upon what our affiliations are, what our associations are, we are constantly moving from the mode of goodness to ignorance to passion. And Krishna explains later on in the chapter, and Prabhupada's giving commentary here, that only after reaching the state of goodness you can hope to start your spiritual life in essence. And how do you achieve that? Is by following a certain process and being in the right association. So from Prabhupada's example, when Prabhupada was a young man, or when he was a boy still, he used to observe that a lot of sadhus used to come to the house because his father was a very, very pious man, Gaur Mohan Dey, very pious person. But all the saints didn't have the right attitude, so he wasn't really very happy with all the saints and sadhus who used to come to the house. So he didn't really have a full appreciation of all the spiritual people at that point in time. But when he was young and college going, at that point, what happened? How did he meet his Guru Maharaj? His friend Narendra Malik forced Srila Prabhupada, come, there is a very wonderful sadhu who's come in town. And on the behest of Narendra Malik, Srila Prabhupada went to meet Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And what was the question Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati had from Srila Prabhupada? Naturally, it was a time when India was under the British rule, so every young person was only and only talking about freedom from the foreign rule. And that's the question that Prabhupada posed. But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explained, don't worry about the freedom of the country. Try and get free from the repeated cycle of birth and death. Try and get free from Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. These are the four kind of miseries we should make an effort to get relief from. And the rest is history. Srila Prabhupada took Bhaktisiddhanta's instruction and he took some time to prepare and then went to Vrindavan, wrote a few volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam, and then came to America. So it's very difficult again, but Prabhupada is saying, by the association, if you read the purport of the second chapter, the association of the living entity with the different modes of nature has been going on perpetually. Since the living entity is in contact with material nature, he acquires different types of mentality according to his association with the material modes. But, this is important, this nature can be changed. This nature can be changed if one associates with a bona fide spiritual master and abides by his rules and regulations. So this is a clear instruction. That's the second takeaway from today. The first was have a certain amount of faith. Second was approach the Lord or the spiritual master like Arjuna does. And the third takeaway is that to start your spiritual life, you have to get to the platform of goodness first. In this regard, there is another anecdote how we struggle all our life to get out of the mode of passion and ignorance. So there is this tradesman, a businessman, very successful businessman. He has a few children, and all children are grown up. So the children are getting worried that the father is not ready to retire. And when will the time come that we will be able to enjoy the wealth and prosperity of the business? When will we become controllers? That's how children are thinking. And the father is thinking that, let me accumulate more so that I can take care of my family members. See, this you can observe in normal life also. So what do the children do? They hatch a plan. Because they want to get rid of the father, they hatch a plan. And they contact sadhu and they say, dear sadhu, priest, we will give you some money and your job is to take our father and let him have some yatras, take him to different spiritual places. And what was the intention? Simply so that the father can go and the children can enjoy and take care of or control the business. So businessman is obviously constantly meditating on how his business is doing. So after a few days, the sadhu who was accompanying the businessman, he writes a letter. I don't think there were phone calls at that time. So he writes a letter home and says, dear so-and-so, your father is so business oriented, it's affecting me. Maybe I'll give up my practices and become a businessman. So I want to give up and come back home. So the children say, no, please don't. We will send you some more money. Just carry on going on from one place to the other. So the sadhu says, okay, I'm getting to travel in all the spiritual places for free. So I will carry on. So sadhu also thinks what to do. Maybe I'll put him the fear of death in him. That this life is going to come to an end. So he decides to take him to Benares. In Benares, and mostly in the holy places, you'll have so many ghat areas where there is cremation happening and different kinds of final rites are happening. So this businessman is accompanying the sadhu and they're going from one place to the other. And after a few days, the businessman tells the sadhu, hang on, I've figured out. I think I've really understood. So sadhu's like, oh, thank you. Maybe he's figured out, maybe he's realized that the life will come to an end. And maybe it's time for us to go back. So the sadhu says, okay, tell me, what have you understood? So the businessman says, all my life, I was trading in clothes. If I knew that wood is so in demand, I would have become a wood merchant. So this is an example of how we struggle, and if we don't make the endeavor, to get out of this mundane cycle of birth, and that while we have time, then it becomes too late. Because we become so conditioned, it's very, very difficult to break the shackles. So we'll just go into the third verse quickly. I would probably need 5-6 minutes extra. Okay, 17.3. Satvanurupa sarvasya Shraddha bhavati bharata Shraddhamayo yam purusho Yo yat shraddha sa eva sa. Audience?
Satvanarupa sarvasya Shraddha bhavati bharata Shraddha mayo yam purusho Yo chat shraddha sa eva cha.
O son of Bharata, according to one existence, under the various modes of nature, one evolves a particular kind of faith. The living being is said to be of a particular faith according to the mode he has acquired. So we understand that there are different varieties of faith, and we develop faith based on our routine activities. And Krishna's message is that we have to get to the level of sattva. From there we can understand what devotional service is. But sometimes we struggle to have faith in the Lord Himself. How do we know Krishna is the Supreme Personality? And then again you have to take shelter of the scriptures, take shelter of the Guru, take shelter of the Sadhu and the Acharya. And there are a number of literatures that are accessible to us. For example, the Chaitanya Manjusha, which is again commentary by the Acharyas. There is a beautiful verse, Aradhyo Bhagwan Brajeshtanayas Tadham Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Brajvadu Vargenava Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amlam Prema Murtho Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhor Matmindam Tatra Dhanna Paraha Aradhyo Bhagwan Brajeshtanayas Tadham Vrindavanam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is saying that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the son of Nanda Maharaj. He, along with his transcendental abode Vrindavan, is to be worshipped. Then, Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajeshtanas Tadham Vrindavan Ramya Kachadupasana Rajvadhu Vargenava Kalpita. The topmost type of devotional service is that which is being offered by the devotees of Vrindavan, the gopis, the Vrajavasis. That's the topmost type of devotional service. Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amlam Prema Martho Mahan. And it's Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's verdict. It's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's verdict that Sri Chaitanya Bhagavatam or Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost literature which is giving us information about Krishna. Okay. So the essence is please continue to have a certain amount of faith, and that's the first stage on your path of devotional service. If there is lack of clarity, then you have to approach the bona fide spiritual master or a guru or a sadhu or a shastra. Don't concoct. Otherwise, what will happen? The net end product will not be correct. From my real life example, so I work from home all the time, and sometimes I have this desire to please my wife and my kid when they come back from school and home. So I'm constantly trying sometimes to cook, and my wife and my son is saying, "Don't concoct. Please follow the recipe." And I'm like, no. When the first dish was discovered, how did that happen? Someone must have thought of, and what do? I open the masala cabinet and chuck everything and then put it for a certain temperature and present something. And then my wife and my child are kind enough, they accept. So in normal life also, thankfully we don't have that problem in Manchester, ISKCON Manchester. We have expert Matajis. They know how perfect all the ingredients should go together. So, are you looking forward to Prashad? It is time. So we'll stop here, and please take some time when you go home to read the purports, Srila Prabhupada's purports. They will give you more information and will help you firm your faith in the discussion we've just had. Okay? Thank you so much, Srila Prabhupada.
Questions.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
2 questions.
Thank you, yes, Lakshman Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So we have been observing some people, they do charity services.
Yeah.
So they say, believe Manav Seva and Madhava Seva.
Yeah.
They believe that.
That's
so
true, yeah.
they,
Madhava Seva.
buy books.
Yeah, they do selfless service, but they don't connect to the God.
Yes.
So which category they belong to?
Yes, that's a very, very good question. No, we see this Manava Seva versus Madhava Seva. Huh? And another one is Karma hi puja hai. That's also work is worship. That's what people say. No? So how do we understand this? You see, the first thing is that if someone is engaged in philanthropy work or some charity work, the first thing we should do is thank you, please, very good, appreciate, acknowledge. If someone has to do that, when there is a war and there is no facility, someone has to reach there and provide food. Someone has to go there and provide clothes. Someone has to go there and provide shelter. You can't send copies of Bhagavad Gita in this situation. It's very difficult. You have to first look after the external body immediately. That's why we have Food for Life program. We go to far places around the world. In India, it's massive. We first feed the body, and then after the body is fed, we then offer the Bhagavad Gita so that they don't fall into that situation again. But for philanthropists who continue to do that for the rest of their lives, they are considered to be in the mode of passion. Because what will happen, and as devotees we know, if we continue to perform only good actions, our bank balance of good actions will build up. And what is the danger with that? If you leave this body with a lot of good credits, you're simply going to get possibly an elevated birth. And what is the danger of having an elevated birth? You can advance materially even to the level of Lord Brahma's planet, but there is a propensity or possibility to fall down again. Because what happens when you have opulence? What happens when you have no problems? There is no need to remember God.
No shelter.
No, there is no need to take shelter of the Lord because everything is sorted. And then we claim, because I worked hard, because I have labored, that's why I have wealth and prosperity. And when the calamity comes, Krishna, why have you done this to me? So we are duplicit like that. Is that okay, Lakshman Prabhu? So we should appreciate, but we should be in knowledge, because we are practitioners, that that's not enough. We should continue. Even as devotees, we should do charity. We should do. But we should also continue to take shelter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and realize that only and only endeavor to get closer will get us out of this cycle of birth and death. Otherwise, repeat. And that's not very intelligent. Yes, we can take one more question.
Yeah. If you have more questions, raise your hand.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for this class. I have one doubt. I saw all the shlokas that you were going through in this chapter.
Yeah.
Most of the times the Lord is saying, as per the
Modes.
faith and the modes he is being controlled, he is developing those faiths, right?
Yeah.
Now, chapter 7, I don't remember the shloka, but there's a number, but Devi Maya, that one.
Devi
Esha Gurumai Maya Guratya.
Yeah.
So there Lord is saying it's difficult to cross.
Yes.
So then why here he is saying this?
So, your question is?
My question is, so getting confused, there he is saying it's difficult, don't even think of crossing it.
Yeah. That's true. If you look at it closely and if you read Prabhupada's purpose, the message is the same. The living being is constantly moving from one mode to the other. And if you analyze the whole Bhagavad Gita, there are more than 200 verses where the Lord is talking about the three modes.
Yes.
More than 220 verses, something like that. So we need to recognize that if we don't have the right association, there is propensity to fall into the mode of ignorance or passion. So that's the message. And yes, once, only and only once we get to the mode of goodness, it is only then that we are able to appreciate that this there is nothing else but only Krishna's shelter that can help me. Nothing else. That is the stage where we become like Arjuna. Nothing else but absolute surrender. And you will see in practice, devotees who are engaging in daily sadhana bhakti have a good philosophical understanding, are so deep rooted that the material anxiety and suffering doesn't bother them. I'd like to give an example. So we try and look after the affairs of the temple, and when I go to Gauranath Ratu and say, Prabhuji, this devotee is saying that and that devotee is Gauranath Ratu is saying, send them to me. Send them to me. I will take care of them, Madhava Kumar. Don't worry. And why is he able to do that? Because he's constantly taking shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. He's constantly, throwing himself at the service of the devotees. So devotees who are able to have a certain discipline are able to do that with ease, without any anxiety. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. We can extend the discussion during prasadam.
Okay.
One last question, anybody?
Feel free, don't hesitate if you have a question. So,
Yeah, thank you.
okay.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Madhava Kumar Prabhu ki
Jai.
jai. If you have any problems, go to Madhava Kumar Prabhu, not to me. He's directing, he's clever. Sitting on the other side, he's clever, directing like,
You just said that to this.
Don't worry, we work as a team. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Madhava Kumar Prabhu, for this class. Really appreciate it. I'll just stand here. A couple of very important announcements. If you are sitting in the next door, please, you can come here if you are not able to hear the announcements. So firstly, we have today our Sangeeta Saha Mataji and family are sponsoring the feast in loving memory of your mother-in-law, right? Mother-in-law, so she's there, her picture is there, Deepali Saha. It's 1 year passing away. So on that occasion, in loving memory, entire family is here and they decided to feed the Vaishnavas. On this occasion, so we offer prayers at the feet of Srila Prabhupada, Shri Panchatattva, Radha Gokulnanda, to actually request them to shower blessings upon Deepali Saha and the entire family. So thank you so much for deciding to do this way and feeding the Vaishnavas. So let's express our gratitude to this family by chanting one Hare Krishna mantra.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay. The management is always working hard behind the scenes. Some of you may recognize, some of you may not recognize. But they work very hard behind the scenes. But recently, so our facilities manager had, put 9 lights outside. 9 lights, 4 in front. These are security lights, have been fitted. So 4 in the front, 2 at the side, 3 in the back. These are security lights and sensor operated. We just want to, mention that we have taken the feedback from some of the devotees, and we decided to have those lights. It's very important. When it is dark, nothing comes out. It's not so good. So if someone passes in the night that way, moves, then the sensor lights come up, and then we can recognize through the cameras. So we want to mention that. And secondly, so every year Easter, we do a retreat, yeah? So why do we do a retreat? If you want, 1 or 2 families, we want to go elsewhere, we can do that, no problem. But we want to go together as a family, spend some time together, and as Prabhuji mentioned, we can get Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha, then with Sadhu Sangha means association with the devotees, then we do Bhajana Kriya. We hear from them, we do Kirtan, and then we develop this Anartha Nivritti, means all the unwanted things will be destroyed. Last year we went to Manor, Bhaktivedanta Manor, And this year, actually, we were exploring. I was exploring. There's a friend of mine, temple president in New Mayapur. He called me, he requested that, why don't you come for the retreat here? And then I looked at the flight fares during the Eid retreats. I almost fell down. And then Madhava Prabhu mentioned, shall we try Italy? Then I Googled the flight tickets. Again, I fell down. Easter time. Easter time. And I was thinking, maybe any other place in UK? Yes, we can probably go, but we have to cook ourselves. Right? Matajis, they are working hard. They want to have a bit of relaxing time, especially during the Easter. That square manner. The last year. What was the feedback? Everybody knows. Prasadam. Not up to the Manchester standard. Put it that way. You will never get the Manchester standard anywhere. Okay, by the way, can you guess how many plates of prasadam you have distributed last year from Manchester Temple? Can you guess?
5,000.
Huh?
1,000.
1,000?
5,000.
5,000?
1 million.
1 million? That could be correct, because in Kartik month every plate becomes 1,000 plates. That means you eat too much. Baba, 13,000 plates of prasadam have been distributed. Big round of applause to our So much hard work goes behind the scenes. Thank you so much. 13,000 plates distributed. So this year, I spoke to them first. I said, we can come again only on one condition: you should feed us nicely. Everything else was good last year. Everything was good. Even if you're feeding one item, you should feed fully, tummy fully. We are Manchester devotees. You don't know our standard. We are not brahmacharis, we are proper householders, grihasthas. You have to come and see what we make here. It's the same thing, I'm not kidding. So then they decided, okay, we'll give a menu this time. This. So I got the menu already for 3 days. So I'm waiting for the menu for the Sunday, which seems to be good. I've also spoken to some senior devotees. Nitai Kirtan Prabhu, some of you know Nitai Kirtan from Birmingham. He does wonderful Kirtan, and he does what do you call it? Gaur Leela Kirtan, means Kirtan and the drama together. So he has agreed to come there. There is a brahmachari from ISKCON Chowpatty. He will be around. He will probably give class. Some senior devotees like Vishaka Mataji and other Prabhupada disciples, they have also agreed to be there. So we are planning to have dramas, plenty of kirtan, bhajan, and some family games, quiz, discourses, and as usual, the farming activity, Goshala, etc. can be done. Okay, so this year again, maybe if some of us want, maybe we can try going elsewhere in the summer, but not during the Easter time. Easter time, the flight fares are crazy. Okay, so now we have our Satish Prabhu like last year, who will be looking after all the logistics. So the seats are reserved on a first come, first served basis. We'll wait for a week or so, and then we'll open it for the public, general public. But initially, we want to give priority to our own devotees. Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda Bhagavan ki jai, Shri Panchatta Bhagavan ki jai. Okay, so this time, adult fees is 70 pounds, and the child between 5 and 13 is 30 pounds per head. Like last year, you arrange your own travel and as well as the accommodation. So if you're planning to come, it is better to book the hotel sooner rather than later. I looked at yesterday, it was coming around 140 for 3 nights, Premier Inn. You can't get any cheaper than that. our Praneshwar Prabhu, he spends 200 per night in Bhaktivedanta Manor. He's a rich man, he can do that. But we are not as rich as he is. So we can book a hotel. 3 nights, 140 pounds premiering. So that is there. If you are interested, please see Satish Prabhu. He will send the details. So then you can reserve and book other things. Does that sound good? Oh, Easter dates, yeah. 29th till 1st April. 29th March, 29th, 30th, 31st, and then 1st April. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, usual. That's the usual story. We'll be reaching on Friday by 1 p.m. and then, like last year, we will leave Manor after breakfast prasadam.
So it is the own carriage, or you have to wear in the bus or something like that?
Everybody, last time we all traveled in our own cars. That's easy.
So what's the money for the 70 pound and 30 pound?
Prasadam,
Prasadam.
9 plates of prasadam, and we will also hire the hall there for gathering. They charge us for that. They charge us. So that's this 70 pounds, 30 pounds for 3 days. Prasadam and organizing, like, we have to pay every time we hire a hall, we have to pay them.
And we have to plus the hotel room as well.
Yes, I mentioned, so it's 140 yesterday when I checked it. It might go up if more devotees, try to book, the prices go up.
Where are we going?
Where are we going? We are going to spiritual world.
Very inspired.
Bhaktivedanta Manor. Bhaktivedanta Manor. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. So if you have more questions, please do Satish Prabhu. Is here. Can you raise at your stand? So everybody knows Satish Prabhu. Last time also he organized. So all the logistics will be taken care by Satish Prabhu. You have anything to say? Nothing? I think I've detailed enough. Too much.
So plan is to reach there.
Batteries? Yeah. When you want it.
Okay, I'll speak louder. The plan is to reach there by Friday afternoon, and from Friday afternoon we'll be spending time until Monday morning. After breakfast, we will return back to Manchester.
Okay. Done. So there is one more announcement from our Atul Prabhu. Yeah. So every 4th Sunday is Kirtan Sunday, wherein so we do a lot of Kirtan. Only half an hour is dedicated for the lecture, and the rest of the time is for Kirtan. So there are more Kirtan lovers in the temple. They want more Kirtan. So from this month, that means next Sunday onwards, instead of 12:30, we will begin Kirtan from 11:30. 1 hour dose, 1 more hour dose of Kirtan for all of you. Haribol! So Kirtan Sunday, Kirtan begins at 11:30. The finishing time is usual. So we request to come and participate in this wonderful Kirtan every 4th Sunday. Not every Sunday, but every 4th Sunday. Am I correct, Atul Prabhu?
Yes.
You want to add anything?
No, we just want people to come and enjoy.
Yes, we want devotees to come and enjoy. Yes? Hare Krishna. So if you are coming for the first time or coming after a long time, so welcome to our temple. And if you are coming first time, please, kindly register. And we have displayed the QR code outside. You can, register into our WhatsApp communication group. Yes, tomorrow we are having a program in the evening here in the honor of our Ram temple opening and Lord Ram's installation in Ayodhya. There is a program from 6:30 till 8:30. It consists of Kirtan, Bhajan, flower abhishek. Bring your own flowers to offer to Lord Ramchandra. Patram pushpam palam thoyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadham pattu pratamashnami prayatatmana. You bring, out of love, you bring your own flowers, offer to the Lord. there will be prasadam as well. And kids are planning small skit, so that will be wonderful to have. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki, Thai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Is it? मत पूछो, पिछले कुछ दिन से डिजास्टर हो रहा सब।
वो उस पे नहीं लगेगा।
तो जो आपका रेसिपी है पालक पनीर का।
अच्छा वैसा हो।
We concocted it सब।
हाँ, मतलब आ जाओ, वायर पहुँचेगा नहीं।
Tomorrow. Made an arrangement. Stand up. I don't know. Stand up.
It's a stand-up kirtan, so we request everyone to stand.
Thank you, bro.
Do you need harmonium? Do you need harmonium? No? You have kartas, you have
Okay. Yes, but still loading. Ah, you are just recording it now. When the week is, when we take care of it, cable. This one, no? And someone comes there, no, you may fall, just take care of the mobile.
Hare दिव्यांग श्री भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक स्तोत्र दिव्यांग भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती महाराज की जय। नामाचार्य श्री राधास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से गौ श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौड़ भक्त मुंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिर गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप धाम की जय। गंगा मई की जय। यमुना मई की जय। साम वेद भक्त मुंद की जय। All glorious to some devotees. All glorious to some devotees. All glorious to some devotees. All glorious to Guru and Gauranga. All glorious to Sri Prabhupada.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य waits next to
Go ahead.
बंद करना कैसे करते हैं? ये स्विच ऑफ करके यहाँ से